Very busy here today. I don't like that. It's a little bit embarrassing when I'm so bad. I'll keep this a bit short, but suffice to say I had a pretty average ride at Bear Creek Bike Park. It's been over a month since I've ridden here because I've been down in Victoria for the last several weeks. Anyway, I need to try and get back into routine and get a bit more familiar with jumps like this. Let's roll out. So I'm committing myself to a 1 hour drive. I want to go up to Somersby Falls, which is up near Gosford Way. So it's about 64 kilometres away. Might be a popular one. Cars parked out in the street. Let's go check it out. It is paid parking. National parks again. Certainly a lot of nice new facilities here. It's only a very short walk. Looks like it's 400 metres down to the bottom. Very busy. It is a Saturday, I guess. It's just a little side fall at the moment. Get down to the big one in a minute. Right, middle falls apparently. Oh, here's another drop over here. Okay. I bought myself a new toy. A proper tripod. Let's go down to the bottom fall now. Just walking a little further down the creek now with everybody else. Well, sounds like we've got another fall down here. Oh, that's a nice one. So I reckon to keep walking, we need to go under the waterfall. It's probably swimmable in there, although there's a creepy log in the middle. I wasn't really prepared for such a long walk. I was kind of expecting just, like 500 metres down to the falls and that was about it, but this just goes on and on. Listen, this just keeps going until it ends up in the ocean. Looks like there's another ledge over there, so it might be a bit of a fall. Unfortunately, I've got to cross over, I think, to get over there. Quite a pull. It's a big one. No, it looks like it's getting pretty overgrown now. Well, not so much overgrown, but full of fallen trees and things. The trail does keep going. Coming down a little bit further, I don't know. It is getting pretty rugged now. It's actually quite interesting the way it's all spread out like that. Getting tricky now. Thinking I might just head back now. It's pushing 2 o'clock, so I'm hungry. This is what it's looking like ahead of me. Well, there is a path sort of up over that side there, but I think it's diminishing returns now. It's nice, it's beautiful down here, but that's probably enough. I'm only planning on spending about 3 days out before I go back and do some more work on the van, so microwave then as it is. Oh, it's now 6 o'clock. I basically got back from the walk about 3 o'clock. It wasn't as far as I thought it was. My GPS, when I get down in valleys like that, Strava, or the GPS on the phone, starts to sort of dart around, particularly when I'm standing still. So when I walked back, it was about 1.4 kilometres, and I walked all the way through, didn't stop. So I think that was a pretty good signal. So all up is about 2.8, right down to those last pools that I went to. I think I'm officially the last person in the national park parking area now, so it's almost dark. Time to go. So I'm parked up next to a telephone tower. I'm about 30 or 40 metres off the road. Unfortunately, the main freeway, is just sort of down the bottom of the hill there, so there's quite a bit of car noise and everything. I know I've slept here once before, and it was the same deal. The noise went on all night. It's not too bad. It's just a, sort of like that ocean whooshing noise, except from cars. Anyway, I'm going to not do a whole lot now. It's only about 6:30, so I'm just going to kick back and relax and do nothing. And I'll see you in the morning. Here's my scenic morning view. At least the sky's looking pretty clear. I think it's supposed to be a bit of a dodgy day today. I think the forecast maximum is about 16 degrees, so a bit of a contrast to yesterday where it was like 25. I think I'll have breakfast before I move. The only reservations I have with this spot is if somebody comes to do any work on this telephone tower, but hey, it's Sunday morning, so unless it breaks down, it's unlikely anyone's going to come out here, so she'll be right. Squeeze myself back out of this little spot that I've snuck into. A little bit tight. I'm just sort of passing through Gosford and thought I'd come and have a quick look down here. It's kind of a little peninsula that pokes out into the bay area, or the lakes, I guess they call them. There we go, Pioneer Park. It's all very nice. I'm not sure these are actual real graves. I'd say they're just tombstones that have been moved here, because they're not arranged as, you can't get a bunch of people in the ground in that space. 1877, yeah, what's this one? There's an 1859, they've got a little plaque at the bottom that says what they are, and then you've got the actual stone by the looks of things. A path running around the headland here, or the peninsula. Doesn't look like you can really get down to the water. There we go. Mangroves poking out through the rocks here. That's quite amazing. Oh, here we go. There is a more official path. Let's just take us down to a bit more of a rock ledge here. Tide must be up. It is really cold this morning. I think doing my laundry might be a good choice for the day. Since I've got a few minutes to kill, I'm just going to get in here and adjust my water pump pressure. I was fiddling around with it a while ago and lowered the pressure on my cold water one because it wasn't shutting off cleanly. That didn't really help, didn't make any bloody difference. It still sort of stutters and carries on, so I'll go back in there and crank the pressure up a bit more, because now it's kind of mismatching with the hot water. It makes my showers a little bit interesting. And while I'm at it, I'm going to replace my silver cap screws with black ones. So locational context, this is under my kitchen cupboard here, and this is why I have such a high riser. Well, a couple of reasons. One is that the spare wheel well, or not the spare wheel, the wheel well is there, so I've lifted the cupboards up over the top of the wheel well, but of course my diesel heater's under here. Can you see that? Yes, just. And my two water pumps down there. Why do I run two, you ask? Because I have a hot pump and a cold pump, and I have a hot water storage tank that I can draw down on. It's not a pressurised hot water tank like most caravans and things. I'll just see if I can screw this back in. Just a little adjusting screw on the bottom of the pump. There we go, black cap screws. Looks so much better. Always gets me how the price of laundromats varies so much. Like the last batch of laundry a couple of weeks ago was down in Bateman's Bay, and that was $12 to get everything washed and dried. Here it just cost me $20 plus 60 cents for credit card fees. I mean, really. Driving down to MacMasters Beach, have a bit of a look. It's a nice little suburb, this one. Very tree and hilly and all that sort of stuff, and people-y on the roadie. This is turning out to be a very average idea because there is not a single parking space in this place. Not an ideal spot to park, but it'll have to do. Yeah, it's looking pretty wild. I've just got to find a spot where I can get a good shot of this, because there are some cool things going on, but hard to see. Looks like we've got some form of surf competition going on. That's why it's so busy here. Just driven up the road a little bit to the little beach walking track. Yeah, there are a few things there. Could have walked it from MacMasters Beach, but not that way inclined at the moment. Very nice bushland around here, all the palm trees and everything. And ferns as well. And there are campsites here as well. Barbecue. Campsite number 1's probably the pick of them. I don't know. It's probably amongst the trees so you can't see the water anyway. Oh, this is certainly an interesting one. Here's Little Beach. I spotted a little lookout up there. Might be a good spot to get some shots of the water. Carrabo Lookout. That's disappointing. It's totally obscured with trees. The guys down there surfing. It's pretty chaotic in the water. I need to go a bit further up this headland trail and have a look and see what's up here. I want to get a good viewpoint. There is a separate walking track as well, just this last section from the little beach back up to the car park. I just decided to wander up the track this time rather than take the fire road. This is a big tree, and this looks like a branch that's come off it. That's like the size of this thing. That's just the branch. There's the actual tree. It's like a nice little ferny sort of area, mossy and whatever else. A little fig tree over there as well. That's the other side. And there we go, back out to the road. And I parked up here somewhere, I think. As always seems to be the case when I have a short walk in the morning, it's lunchtime. Having a bit of my musselman curry that I made up quite some time ago. I've had it sitting in the freezer. Didn't finish it all last time I was out. And the weather's not the best out there now. Very windy. It's what they forecast basically. Very windy, quite cold. So I think I don't know, good opportunity to have a relaxing afternoon really. So it's getting pretty windy here now. I think I'm sitting underneath a whole bunch of trees, so it's probably time to move on. Especially when I look in front of me and see that big branch that's come down. That there doesn't look good. At least it's down already. It's not pleasant outside. I don't think I want to go out, but this is a beautiful view. Oh wow, that's quite a lookout. Jeez. Look, the water, look how white the water is down there. It's amazing. It's just so rough today. So that's Palm Beach over there, well on that side of the headland here. So this is Broken Bay, it comes into the Hawkesbury River. Going down to Putty Beach. My goodness, what a bunch of steep roads around here. And they've got a National Parks campground here. Is it tents only? I think it might be tents only. I do wonder about that in some of the national parks, right? They've got parking spaces here for the campground. It's tent-only camping. But there were no signs saying no overnight parking outside the campground. So I wonder if you paid for your campsite and slept in your van in the car park, would that all be okay? I don't know. I really want to get out there and take some video, but at the other beach I didn't dare take the camera out because there was just sand blowing everywhere, but maybe here, I don't know, let's have a look. We're kind of on the sheltered side of the headland, so it's not so spectacular on this side. The other side is just so windy. It is pretty crazy though. Oh, it's got the mouthful of sand. Oh, and again. Nah, stuff this. I think this might be a nice view. We'll park on this cliff face. Seems there's a road down there. It's slow going along this track. It's actually pretty rough. It's borderline four-wheel drive. I wouldn't be doing it in the wet, that's for sure. It really is stupid windy up here. Who would have thought, sitting on a completely exposed hill right in the edge of the ocean. But anyway, I'm going to start driving back down to suburbia or Sydney area. I do want to get some more stuff done on this van, so I think tomorrow I'll get back to my mother's place and then I can start the next little bit and see if I can stand doing that for 2 or 3 days and then head back out again. So I think tonight I might sleep in Brooklyn. I'm going to head down there. Oh, here we are again. One of my favourite spots. Not sure I'd call it a favourite, but it is certainly a nice spot. It's somewhere just on the outskirts of Sydney where I know I can stay. And it always has a beautiful view. Well, the sun's just starting to break through, so it's probably an appropriate time for me to get my act together. Come on. You chicken. So this is Old Man's Valley in Hornsby. See if I can remember how to ride it. I haven't ridden here for a while. It keeps changing every now and then. They're doing a development here. It's part of an old quarry, and they're turning the quarry into some nice parkland, which should be quite interesting once it's done. Making a fair bit of progress here. So a few little jump lines here. Oh, that last one's dead. There's some bigger ones over there, which of course, these are for kids, not for me. It's really cold this morning. Oh. Probably like 9 or 10 degrees, but by my standards that's really cold. I think I'm being attacked by this bird. It's only a half-assed job. It's been bombing me for quite a while, but his heart's not in it. A little bit hairy. The bridge. Lots of rockers guts down here now. Some nice funny little gullies down here with the tranquil noises of excavators in the background. And back up to the car park. Yeah, chicken! Move it, you turkey! Come on, get out of the way! Really? One more section of rocky ugliness on the opposite side of the road where I parked. Ooh, that's yucky. Okay. Not even 6 kilometres, half an hour to do a full lap. Really, that distance I should go again, but Like it's an okay place to ride, but it's not that much fun. My bloody big toe on my left foot has gone numb. It's not just me being a pussy with the cold weather, right? It impacts my body. My toes go numb, my fingers go numb. I don't know, I must have pretty poor circulation or something. Bloody hell. I'm not designed for cold weather. Man, driving down Pennant Hills Road and I saw diesel for $1.67. You've got to be kidding me. Went and bought some, of course. Everywhere else is like $1.80, $1.85. That's insane. Metro on Pennant Hills Road. Where am I? I don't know where I am. Anyway, quick Bunnings stop. So time to get on with a bit more stuff. I think what I'm going to do today, I'll continue on with what I did last week. I've got these little brackets that I installed up there on top of the door, which I put in. And what I've got to do is run some struts up and join them up to these angle lines that I've got up on the roof here. And that will help me support the roof running across. Got myself a bit of aluminium angle, 30 by 30 by 1.6. Don't ever buy this stuff at Bunnings. It's horrendously expensive. If you were to buy 3 metres, that would be like $40, $50. It just cost me $12.30 from an aluminium supplier's place or a steel supplier's place. Normally I would weld, because I've got to bend it basically. It needs to follow that curve down the roof. But normally I'd weld that. Although this time we're going for rivets. For me to weld it, I need to go and hire a gas cylinder. And it's expensive, just for like 2 welds that I'd need to do, and just the time involved as well, you know, driving somewhere. I never know where I'd get it from around here. Now, a tricky bit for the second one, I need to put the insulation panels in the middle first. So if you watched my last video, you know when I put in this door here over the top, my edge banding has a bit of a white streak through it where I didn't actually cut it. Now, I've come up with this really silly idea of applying heat and seeing if it gets rid of it. I don't have a lighter, so let's try this. I think it's working. Hasn't caught fire yet. There we go, I reckon that's done the job. That's at least hidden the white edge now. So I've got a bit of a crazy idea for the roof lining. I picked up some aluminium fly screen framing, and what I'm going to do is make these into square sections, the size of the panels that I want to put onto the roof, and then stretch the material over it, wedge it in as you would a fly screen, and that should give me a fabric panel that I can then attach to the roof of the van. This is a theory, I don't know how well it's going to work, so I'm going to try one and we'll see how it turns out. The corner brackets are designed so that the little strip that traps the fly screen goes on the inside. So you can see the extrusion, the shape of the extrusion there, and then the shape of the corner bracket. It's meant to go in like that. That way, but what I want is for it to go in that way. So basically, to use these, I've got to slice off these little flanges they've put on there. Let's just try it and see what happens. Oh, there we go. So it's the. I don't know, it's going to look droopy. I think it'll be okay. This is the biggest piece, right? This is quite a large panel, and I could have probably broken it up into 2 separate ones. And sure, it's gonna move, like it is a loose fabric type thing. I don't know. Nothing is easy. I'm having one of these moments where I'm wishing I just put tongue and groove panels on the ceiling and added 100 kilos to my van like everybody else does. So yeah, that's going to work fine in isolation, and I can do the ones in front of that, no dramas whatsoever. All down that passenger's or the driver's side of the van won't be a problem. But where I have a bit of a hassle is up here. I've got my breaker panel for the solar, and this is not square either. This is not a my whole. I don't know if anybody ever notices this, but if you look down, I don't know if I can even show it really. The van, the central aisleway is not straight. It's on a 10-degree angle, right? You can sort of see it in my kitchen bench. How the kitchen bench is 600mm wide here and 400 down the back. And it's the same here, right? I've got a, I don't know how deep that is, but, you know, it basically flares out as it goes down towards the back there. And there were numerous reasons for doing that. A lot of it is to do with the doorway, the fridge, having space for the fridge there. It just worked well from a floor plan perspective. However, coming back to bite me now, and this is going to make this very, very difficult. So this is kind of where I'm at by the end of Tuesday. So I've got one panel mounted up there. It's not mounted, actually, it's just sort of clamped there. So that's the fly screen one. And then I've made up a second one here, which is a irregular shape, using core flute of all the dodgy materials. Hey, once it's out of the sun, it'll be all right, it'll last forever. But I think this is probably going to have to be the way I'm going to do it. So I've used spray adhesive on this, then put the material on there, etc., etc. This is kind of what it looks like. So that's kind of what I got so far. They're not, I don't have any way of holding them on there. I think what I've got to do is attach some aluminium angle on the wall on the side here, and then somehow fix it. I'm thinking double-sided tape. I've got a rail down the centre there, which both of these push up against, so I can just use double-sided tape there, no problems. Eventually, there probably will be another angle that will have to bolt through all of this into the steel rails that are up there. Anyway, that's an entire day's work. It's not really. I had to take Mum into the doctor's, so I lost probably about 3 hours of the day just doing that. Actually wrapping the core flute with the material was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, and turned out all right, so as long as the glue holds, which it should do. Anyway, look, I'll leave it here for now, and I've got a few more days to try and sort things out, so anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with more fun and games. See ya.